In this demo, I'm going to be showing OneLogin's new delegated administration feature. This feature allows organizations to optimize the way that they manage administration for more complex organizational structures. I'm going to walk through a scenario in which a developer-centric administration team primarily leverages the OneLogin Terraform provider and our admin APIs to configure their environment, but they also want to provide a business owner the ability to do some basic administrative tasks for a customer-facing e-commerce application. So here we are, I'm signed into the admin interface, looking at a custom privilege which has been created. Now again, in my case, the admin team using Terraform is who actually created this privilege, but it could have just as easily been created through the user interface here as well. And effectively a custom privilege like this one is made up of these access statements. An access statement, it contains a resource type, an action, and a scope. So a quick example is I've got an access statement defined here for applications, which lists or has enabled a few different actions which are permitted for applications. But I've also applied a scope, specifically a role scope, meaning that those actions are only permitted for applications which are assigned to these two roles. I've done something very similar using a user access statement, which effectively gives this privilege the ability to do everything with respect to a user object, but again, only for users who are assigned to those two roles. Now, I mentioned these privileges could be created through the admin interface or through the admin API using Terraform, and then the privileges can be assigned either programmatically to a role, if you need to assign it in bulk, or the privilege can also be assigned to an individual user. And so in this case, that's what I've done here. I've assigned it to a user named CS Manager. And I'm currently signed into this admin interface here as a super user. And so I have all of the administrative actions available to me, as we can see across the top header here. So if I swap over to a different browser, in this case, I'm signed in as that CS Manager user. And so first thing we notice here is that the admin actions are much more limited for this user. I've only got the users tab and the applications tab here. Now I can also only view users who are assigned to these two roles. Now again, based on the access statement that I had defined, I've basically given the privilege the ability to do all tasks with respect to user objects, so I can update users here if I need to. I can do things like change the password if I need to, or I can just add and remove users as well. Similarly, if we look at the applications interface here, I can see these applications, but these are only the applications which are assigned to the roles that are specified within that role scope. And again, based on the access statement that I've defined, this is essentially a read-only type of access to applications, with the exception of being able to add and remove users and configure the user entitlements for these specific applications. So that's just a quick example of using delegated administration.